All right, I wanted to show a repair to my garage door, and I think it is a problem that is common to these thin-walled garage doors. And you can see this is a hinge next to my rail on my garage door, and if I lift this up, you'll see what the problem is right here. The screws have pulled through the metal. I've already made the repair, so I'm just going back to show you how I did it, and maybe that will be helpful to you. But this is fairly common on these garage doors. This one is probably 20 years old, I guess. And the screws had pulled through the metal here. And what was happening on my garage door is as the door rolled up, this panel was kind of folding up under the other panel and putting the door in a bind. And it wasn't keeping the garage door from functioning, but I can see from the rubbing here and the wear on the wheel here that it would eventually have probably locked the garage door up at some point. I'm not sure exactly what would have happened, but anyway, I've done numerous repairs on this door over the years. This is probably the biggest repair I've had to do, but it'll keep it going. And so if you have a garage door like this, then maybe this will help you out as well. And here's my full door. And I've done some repairs down on this end as well, this other end as well. Okay, well, I'm going to get set up, and I will take the hinge off and show you how I did this repair. These are the items or the tools that I used for this repair. You've got an impact drill driver to get the screws on and off. Just a regular drill. You will need a drill bit the size of the screws that you're using. This metal plate is what I use for the backing for the screws and to make everything stable. This is my actual cut piece over here, and I'll show you how I lined that up to cut it. And then this is my cutting tool. You may not have something like this, but you could use a hacksaw if you needed to, just to cut this piece to the correct size for the garage door. So it's not a very difficult repair. It did take me a couple of hours to do it though. So let me get set up. I'll just show you kind of what I did, putting it back together. And like I say, maybe this will be helpful to you. Okay, well, I've got the everything set up and ready to go. I hope that I have this at a good angle that you can see this. I'm going to go ahead and take this hinge off so you can see what I'm doing, and I would take this hinge off anyway, just to make it easier to access what you're doing behind this panel here, because that's kind of where all the magic is taking place. So just use my impact driver, take the hinge off, and the wheel comes out of the track easily, and set that aside. And you can see this is where all the damage is, right here. And I really haven't done anything to that. I haven't cleaned it up. I had to get it realigned a little bit because it had come out of alignment a little bit with all the stress. I also took the screws out of this brace because I want my plate to be secured to that base, to this brace as well, to make it more secure. So once you have that taken out, you can get you one of these plates. I got this at Home Depot. This is a Simpson Strong Tie plate. This is actually made for putting together two pieces of wood and for strength. And these are, I don't know, maybe 16 gauge, I'm not sure. Maybe an 1/8 of an inch, not quite 1/8 of an inch thick, but it's plenty strong to do what needs to be done here. And so what I did was take this plate, lay it back here in the position I wanted it to go. Now what I really wanted to do was have the plate go up above this section right here to tie into all of this up here. But what I didn't realize when I was first working on it is there's a lip right up under here. I don't know if you can see here, but there's a little lip here. Then when I started putting the plate up under here, it would bump up against that lip. So ultimately, I had to make the plate just go from the bottom of this lip down this way. And I want it to go as far as it would go because I'm going to put some screws in down here as well. So when you line it up, push it all the way against that side and then up against this lip. And then you can take a marker or a pencil and scribe down the side here. And that will give you your line for your cut. And so what I did, and this is my cut piece. And I used one metal cutter. If you don't have one of these, they're a very useful tool. Just have a metal cutting wheel here. And made the cut on a piece of metal. Put it back in, marked which way is inside and which way is up because it's got a lot of holes in it. And marked my holes and drilled my holes. Now, there is also a lip on the inside of this. It's probably a 1/4 inch piece that's bent in. It makes it a little difficult to get this piece up in here. So you'll need to keep that in mind as you're cutting this piece. Don't try to cut it too snug or you won't be able to get it in here. In fact, I had to bend this lip out a little bit just to get this piece up in there. So once you get your piece cut, and you can force it up in here. And line it up, which is just as much as the fun as anything. There it is. You can see there's my holes that my hinge will be going into. Here's my holes for my brace. And so I want to go in and put my brace in place and get it screwed in so I can have something holding this piece of metal while I'm putting the hinge back on. And I don't recall what size holes I drilled, but it will depend on what screws you're using. I was able to reuse all of the screws that came out, and I actually had a couple of extra ones. They look like just typical automatic metal screws to me. That's in place. Get your hinge. And I will remind you this because this is something I forgot. I was putting it all back together, and I had taken the wheel out to clean it and lubricate it, and forgot to put the wheel back in, put the hinge back together, finished everything, rolled the garage door open, noticed this section was sagging, and then realized I hadn't put the wheel back in. So don't do like me. So put your wheel in, line everything back up. These are the original holes. Now, unfortunately, this is just screwing back into this original thin metal. I guess if I were doing this for a more permanent fix, I would put one of these plates up here as well. Probably not a bad idea. I've noticed on the other side of my garage, the same thing is happening over there. I have done some temporary fixes over there, but it won't be long. I'll have to do something like this as well on that side. Just putting all my screws back in place. Just be careful up here. You may want to use a screwdriver or instead of the drill driver because it's just drilling into this thin wall metal. Down here we're going into this 16 gauge plate, so I feel good with it. Go ahead and cinch it up tight. That's good. That's all flush. See, this screw right here is already walled out of that thin metal. So it won't be long. I'll probably have to put a plate back there. And that's it. That's the fix for this. And let me show you. I'll roll it up and show that as well. Okay. Here we are. We're rolling this section up. Everything looks good. Nothing coming out of the track. Nothing misaligned. All right, so I hope this was helpful for you. I will tell you that something I do try to do is keep this garage door lubricated whenever it starts making noises. As a buddy of mine told me one time, who was a home inspector, he said, you think about it, your garage door is the biggest moving part in your house, and it can cause some problems if it's not working right. So I lubricate all these joints at least annually. You can see a repair that I've done here, and all these wheels, just to keep it moving well. Okay. Well, I hope you have a good day, and hope you have a blessed day. And look, go out there and find God somewhere. He's out there in the beautiful outdoors in His creation. All right. Have a good day.